Well, welcome back to the Megan Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're breaking down Olympic rings tattoos. The Megan Show. I recently made a TikTok about this, and if you don't already follow me, please follow me on TikTok and Instagram. It's at The Megan Show with 3 O's, and I would love for you to follow me on there. That I put out a lot of content that relates back to my YouTube channel, so it would really mean a lot to me if you gave me a follow out there. So let's jump into these Olympian tattoos. I know I'm not the only one obsessed with the Olympics. I'm loving watching all of the coverage from Paris, France. It is so fun watching Team USA rack up all of those medals. But today I wanted to take a look at some Olympic rings tattoos. A lot of Olympians have the rings tattooed somewhere on their body, and today, let's take a look. First up, we have Simone Biles. She has the Olympic rings right on her wrist area, all in black ink, pretty small. It looks pretty clean, and it looks like she's probably had that for some years now. You know, she's been in the Olympics several times now, the best gymnast of all time, and so her tattoo has held up, looks great. Here's her on a red carpet, it looks like, showing it off, so top notch for Simone, as always. Here we have an Olympic swimmer who even has kind of like the Grecian leaves from the very first Olympics, where they would give them kind of crowns, and probably from the Athens Olympics from 2004. I'm sure that they were giving them some little crowns like from Grecian times, which was really cool. And he also has his rings in color. And I think those colors represent some of the most common colors from country flags around the world. So we've got, of course, the blue, black, yellow, green, and red. And if we're looking technically here, some of the rings are looking slightly wobbly, if we're being honest, but from afar it looks clean and legible. He's got it right there on that bicep. That is a more common area that a lot of men I'm seeing get the Olympic rings tattoos. You'll see as we look, there's a few really common spots that people get these tattoos, and that inner bicep is one of the most common. This one's interesting. So this is the back of the neck. So the back of the neck and kind of the top of the back is probably one of the other very, very common spots. But this one is especially unique because this person has Beijing 2008, London 2012, and Rio 2016 right there with the tattoo. That is kind of wild to see that they put exactly what Olympics they were at, and all 3 of them. I mean, to go to 3 Olympics is amazing. To go to 1 Olympics is obviously amazing, but to be able to go to 3 Olympics, that is extremely unique, extremely special. And of course, they wanted to memorialize it forever, right on the back of their neck. This, what I can determine, is probably a gymnast from seeing a little bit of their leotard there. The rings are pretty small, but they look nice and legible, all black, and they've got that wording right there. And they even have it in kind of the font that you would see throughout the games for each of those games. So I think that is pretty cool. And again, the really legible rings, I find that really impressive. Here is someone's wrist. I feel like that is a less common spot. I've seen some wrist rings, tattoos, but I'm seeing them in the other spots a little bit more often. This one is in color, a little bit small, maybe slightly wobbly there on that yellow ring, but this one you can see has color and black outline. So they've got the black outline first, and then the artist filling it in with the right colors. I think that is a nice touch. It's quite interesting to see how some people go with all black ink, some people go with just color, and some people do the combination of a black outline with color inside. So everyone's different, and that one's pretty cool. Let's take a look at this one. Here's one, again, that has Rio 2016 right there, wanting to memorialize the exact Olympics that they attended. This one's right on that shoulder blade, really clean. I like that the wording here is a little bit larger than that gymnast that's right on the back of the neck, really, really small. This one is much larger, gonna stand the test of time a little bit better, I think. And that one looks great. Okay, look at this one. You've got a negative space Olympic rings. How interesting is that? So they've got their whole back blasted, it looks like. They've got, now putting some context clues together, it looks like they are maybe a basketball player. Maybe right on that left shoulder is a basketball hoop, perhaps, looks like. And just, I can't quite tell what's in the background of where the rings are, but he's got the rings in negative space right below the back of the neck. That is so cool. It looks super clean and legible, and that one will stand the test of time in kind of a different way. You know, the tattoo, the rings are his actual skin. So that's going to be there forever. Really cool. Let's take a look at this one. I don't see, oh, I see it a little bit. Okay. Badminton player, really interesting. You've got, they've just got some, you know, normal tattoos here, and then right on that wrist, it's a little bit covered. You can see the Olympic rings, and that is pretty cool. All black ink there. Little badminton player, how fun. Okay, here we go. We've got some rib tattoos. Now, I've seen a lot of rib tattoos for the Olympic rings, and I'm surmising that this is another swimmer. And they even have a little symbol right in there. Someone's gonna have to help school me on what that symbol is, what that would mean. But they've got that symbol right in one of the rings there. Nice and legible, really big, in all black ink. And that is going to last. Pretty cool. Okay, here's one that says USA Athens 2004. That's pretty fun. They've got what Olympics they attended and Team USA. They've got it in color. So this one, you know, we don't know exactly when this photo was taken, but if it was somewhat recently, that means this tattoo is 20 years old. Now, this picture could have been taken when it was new. We are not sure, but either way, this man has a 20-year-old tattoo now, which is really interesting, and it looks great. Again, we don't know how old the image is, but this tattoo is going to last. That the lettering is a little close to that top ring there, and it's a little close to the bottom, so maybe could have made the wording a little bit bigger to maybe help it last the test of time, but I think it looks great. The circles look really round. The coloring looks pretty good, so nice one. Next up is star swimmer for Team USA, Caleb Dressel. He's got his Olympic rings tattoo right above the forearm, on the inner forearm there. You can't quite see the entire tattoo there, but you can see that it's in color, and you can see his other arm blasted with really cool tattoos. He's got an eagle, a bear, I can't quite tell what else, but that's a great one. Let's check out this one, back of the neck. This one's a little different. So all of the other tattoos so far have been traditional Olympic rings, completely solid, either black or in color. And this one is in black, but the rings aren't all connected. They are open here or there. It's a more loose style. That one's kind of interesting. Y'all have to let me know what you think about that. It kind of reminds me of the language from the Arrival movie I talked about in several videos ago about my favorite movies. That Alien movie where the aliens like shot out ink from their tentacles and they had their language in these like symbols. It kind of reminds me of that. That is random, but that one's kind of interesting. Let's look at this one. We've got kind of an ankle. What is on the bottom there? I can't tell what is kind of below the like little leaves. I don't know what that part is, but the Olympic rings themselves are in color. Really nice and smooth, very nice and circular, and the leaves below it look really nice too. Ooh, this one's pretty cool. So this looks like maybe someone's country broken down into counties or states. Probably not counties, I don't know why I'd say that. But I assume this is someone's country. I'm so sorry, I can't quite tell from the shape what country that is, but then they've got the rings below it. Now, it looks like they were slightly in color and maybe have faded, or the color just wasn't super punched in, but the color on this one is a little less than great, but the country looks really cool. Got some dimension there, and then those rings. The rings look, probably could have stood to be a little bit bigger, if I'm honest. This is on this dude's back. The whole tattoo could have been scaled up quite a bit, if we're honest, but still looks overall decently clean. Here's another person's back. Now, this one's a little bit of a size that I would expect from a nice broad-shouldered man. He can take a large tattoo right in the middle of the back there. This one is one of those that has color but has the black outline. So this one looks pretty clean. Again, I'm sure this is a swimmer. And nice. This one looks good. The rings look pretty symmetrical. All right, what do we got here? Okay, here's a little bit even a different variation. So this one is in all black, but the rings themselves are bare, like they're not colored in at all. They just are completely hollow. That's kind of a odd choice, if I'm being honest. And then they've got the Rio 2016 there. But that is interesting to go with a black outline, but then not fill them in at all with black or color. So that's kind of interesting. Again, right on the rib there, I figure this is a swimmer, and that is just an interesting choice. I don't know that I would go with that personally. The Rio 2016s kind of slammed together, pretty small. So I'm not loving that one. That one is not on our top choices. Look at this one. This one's more dainty. We've got really small rings right on the back of the neck there. This is on a woman, presumably. And yeah, this one's kind of small. It already looks slightly old. I'm not sure how, how aged this tattoo is from this photo, but a little small. I get they maybe didn't want something so huge. But yeah, this one's kind of interesting. Does not look fresh, but it looks okay. Goodness. Now, I guess that's an arm, a huge muscly arm, and it's got the Olympic rings and then champion, and I can't tell what. Oh, okay, I see now. It is a weightlifting, like, you can tell how much I go to the gym. So it's a big no, not dumbbells, barbell. Oh my gosh, dude. Big weightlifting thing that you lift up like this is what the dude has with champion in the middle. And honestly, it's looking slightly sloppy if we're gonna be honest here. The champion font is a little odd. The rings are slightly askew. The red one's slamming into the black one. There's space in between the black and the blue one. The yellow one looks like way different diameter and radius than these. No, I'm gonna go with a hard no on that one. Not loving that one at all. Okay, what in the world does this say? Got the rings. What does that say? R still. Oh, rings. Okay, rings spelled vertically, and then what does this say? Still? Maybe that's his last name. Still rings, still. Not sure. The rings themselves look okay. They went with all color and no black outline, and that's kind of interesting. You can tell how the yellow one is almost blending into a skin tone there, and it's not really popping off. I'm really unsure about the wording here. Y'all kind of let me know in the comments what you think about what that could mean. But the rings themselves look okay, but they're just not going to stand the test of time as well as some of these other ones that are anchored with black ink. So interesting choice there. Here is another gymnast with it on their ankle. Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020. That's fun to see our most recent previous Olympics there, the 2016 and 2020. And the rings there, it's really small. They've got a maple leaf over here. Wonder if this is a Canadian athlete, not for sure. But this one's rather small. That Tokyo 2020 is so tiny. It's gonna blow out over time. Kind of might mesh together a little bit, but it looks good for now. Here's one that's huge on the inner bicep there. Now these colors are quite saturated. You can see that blue looking super vibrant. They went with a more golden yellow, kind of darker. That green is really vibrant and neon looking. The black is almost kind of lacking compared to these other colors. And it's really huge. Again, it doesn't look like there's a black outline at all. That's kind of an interesting choice. I wouldn't necessarily go with that if I was ever an Olympian, as if I'm ever going to be an Olympian. Maybe I could be an Olympic shopper. Just kidding. But this one, it's good that they chose that kind of size, but I think they should have gone with a black outline. We're going to wrap it up with 28-time Olympic medalist Michael Phelps. He has the Olympic rings right on his waistline there. Tiny, you can't quite see it because it's mostly always covered up with pants or whatever, but he has got the Olympic rings right there on below his waistline, really small. You can't quite see them, but they're there and they're in color. So I think that's a good one to end this off on. Well, wasn't that fun? Now I gotta go because there's so much more Olympics I need to catch up on, but I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please again follow me on TikTok and Instagram if you haven't already, and subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I think that's all I have to ask of you guys for now. Thank you guys so much for watching The Megan Show. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.